welcome to Adelaide for the 2010 Credit Union Christmas Pageant. This year's theme is Together We Can Make Magic, and Raggy, it is going to be a magical day.
Yeah, you're right, Jade. I can't believe how quickly a single year disappears. Here we are for the 78th pageant since it was first staged in 1933. Despite some heavy clouds, the weather hasn't stopped a single pageant yet.
And rain, hail or shine, we're expecting about 300,000 people to show up here for the happiest day of the year.
And there are 6 stunning new floats. You're going to love the first one starring Satsmo the elephant, and if you love baby animals, you're going to love Christmas Around the World.
My personal favourite is Christmas Beat with all the drummers, which you can see just before Father Christmas arrives.
And Postcards' Lisa McCaskill joins us. She has a very special role. What's your job today?
Well, apart from enjoying all the excitement and anticipation in the crowd down here, it's great seeing all the kids drawing all over the road. I have the special job of welcoming Father Christmas into his magic cave at David Jones. The pageant is an exciting day for all of us, but the highlight is always the arrival of Father Christmas. How exciting, Brendan. Everybody's excited. Father Christmas is here.
Oh, how good is that? That means Christmas has now arrived here in Adelaide.
He's been coming to town like this now for 78 Christmas pageants. And when he reaches the end of his 3.2 kilometre ride through the streets of Adelaide, he'll wave to us all and we'll welcome him with 3 hearty cheers.
Hip, hip. Hip, hip.
This heralds the arrival of Father Christmas in his traditional home in the Magic Cave at David Jones. There's always a crowd on hand to welcome him to town as he prepares to meet all the children to hear their Christmas wishes. We all love the Magic Cave at David Jones. It's a place where we soak up the magic of Christmas with the colour and the sounds of the happy festive season. It's very different from the early days of the pageant, which started back in 1933 as the John Martin's Christmas pageant, with just 8 floats and 4 bands. But the history of the Magic Cave started long before the pageant.
I think had John Martin's, who then created that first Credit Union Christmas pageant, well, Johnny's pageant in those days, I think had they not had the experience with the Magic Cave, they may not have had the courage to take it on. I can't speak for them because, you know, they thought they were great thinkers at the time. I think they had great ideas. They saw this parade over in Canada and sort of thought, well, maybe we could do something like that in Adelaide. But had they not had the creativity of the Magic Cave, which started in 1896 and was well established, they knew how to make things, they knew how to be creative. But by the time 1933 came around, which was, almost 40 years of experience, my guess is that without the Magic Cave, the Credit Union Christmas pageant might not be with us today.
It was actually called Happy Land that first year, but became the familiar Magic Cave the next year.
This is fantastic. This brings back so many great memories. You know, I was very lucky for 12 years I was involved in putting the Magic Cave together, and it just brings back so many great memories. A lot of fun with a great team of people putting it together. You know, we worked many days and nights putting the Magic Caves together, and it was almost like a party atmosphere, so it was fantastic.
It was a place where children and their parents could come to celebrate Christmas. Over the years, there would be storytelling, Christmas trees, rides and exhibitions. Year after year, there was something different added to the magic, with designers working on new layouts. It's a tradition that remains at David Jones, with something new each year to charm us all.
All the children smiling and all the elves working and the carousel, it's just wonderful.
But this is what so many children come to see at the Magic Cave, our visit with Father Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
A chance to spend some time explaining just what presents would look good under the Christmas tree. He must be a very understanding fellow. So, Brenton and Jade, I hope you have your Christmas wishes ready for Father Christmas, because he'll be here soon.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Looking forward to it. And Jade, so many magical memories of the Magic Cave. I remember the silver helium balloons that were prominent across the city with Father Christmas's face all over it. The Christmas stocking, which had the Father Christmas mask in there. Those magic mirrors. I've got one of those at home. Make me feel better about myself. And not only that, I love that puppet animation. That's always been special.
My favourite was going to
sit on Santa's knee and tell him what Barbies I wanted for that year, and then on the way out to get a big packet of pink fairy floss.
And the lucky dips too, the lucky dips. Sometimes I go in for a couple, you know.
Yeah, well, you stay off those puddings.
Now, the Guinness World Record. We had an attempt at the Mexican wave last year. Something different this year, though.
We certainly have. We've attempted to get the most amount of people to sing Christmas carols. For 15 minutes straight, that's what we needed to do. And the carols were about 5 different carols. Santa Claus is coming to town, and Away in a Manger we had. And also, what other songs did we sing along the way?
There were stacks of them. I heard some of the Muppets carols. Let's take a look and see what we did this morning.
It's always a wonderful feature of the Credit Union Christmas pageant, the music. And it's not just the bands. Each float has its own soundtrack, amplified into the crowd as the float passes by. The Christmas Carol float is a reminder that Christmas is a time when the traditional music is very much a part of our celebrations. But this year, the organisers are taking the Christmas Carol theme a little further, with an attempt at the Guinness World Record for the largest group of carol singers. You'll remember that the last couple of years have featured an attempt at the longest wave. It travelled over 3 kilometres, but it didn't quite get the numbers to make the record books.
We were announced by Guinness as being the most audacious attempt in the last 10 years around the world that they'd seen. The second year, we actually had a speaker system. We got the wave to go from South Terrace around 9 bends over 3.2 kilometres all the way to North Terrace. A brilliant effort. But we found out that in Grenfell Street, King William Street and North Terrace, there's not a lot of people there. So we had to even get some volunteers to work that crowd to be in a line so that we could finish the wave. So we're going for a record that we think is more achievable, the largest number of people singing a carol. We find out as we get the rules that we have to sing for 15 minutes. So on the day, it'll be something like 1, 2, 3, ready, go! We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas. They'll then decide, did you all sing? Yes, every 50 of them sang, or I saw 5 of them walk away, okay, that's 45. They'll put it back to somebody else, they'll add up all of their figures, there'll be 4 of those group marshals who add up all of those figures and then send it to the Chief Marshal. The Chief Marshal will then add them all up and hopefully 300 by say 40 each gives us 12,000 and the record's 7,514.
So earlier this morning, crowds arriving along the pageant route were given their song sheets with the words of 5 carols. We wish you a Merry Christmas, Jingle Bells, Away in a Manger, 12 Days of Christmas, and Santa Claus is coming to town. With 300 volunteers registering up to 50 participants along the road, it's been a big venture. So at 9 o'clock this morning, the big moment, everyone started to sing. It looks like a pretty good attempt to me. Let's see what the people from the Guinness Book of Records say about our attempt to have the largest group of carol singers.
Well done, a great effort. Sounded beautiful this morning, all the carol singing. Certainly woke Adelaide to the fact that Christmas has arrived here in the city.
It certainly has. Now, the people at the Guinness Book of Records are still counting to see if we actually have broken the record. The record stands at the moment at 7,514 people from the university in South Carolina back in December 2004. I think we can break it.
Well, let's hope so. We want to say special thanks to our 300 volunteers to help out this morning. They were fantastic. The students from the Film and Vision Department, because we had to film it to make it official. They're from the Adelaide Centre of the Arts at TAFE SA. our sponsoring credit unions, Channel 9 and TAV, for capturing the action of the world record. And like we say, well, hopefully you have that record for you. We'll do the official counting. Now, I've been checking the weather radar. Now, Jade, it has started drizzling just a little bit, just a smidgen, not enough to dampen spirits just yet, and not even certainly enough to wash away the chalk drawings that are down there on North Terrace here at the minute. Now, just checking the weather radar, looks like it's going to be short-lived. Let's see how Lisa's faring down there on North Terrace.
Well, it's going great down here. We were hoping to have the results of the world record. We don't know yet. Everybody was singing their heart out, though, around me. And whichever way, it'll be another chapter in the remarkable history of the Christmas pageant.
Wonderful. Well, the chalk drawings continue. That is good news. Starting this morning, you know, in fact, we've been so fortunate so far with the fact that there was no rain. The floats had a nice, easy drive from Stardust Castle into the city via Port Road. Lots of drivers here in action today, and in fact, many vehicles that you'll see pulling the floats today once pulled the baggage trolleys at the airports and the railway stations. So those have been around since the 1940s and 50s themselves, and thanks to the team at Stardust Castle, they're still going today. Now, Jade, Christmas, guess what? Only 42 sleeps away.
I can't wait. And what are you going to ask Santa Claus for Christmas this year?
You know what? Actually, I'm thinking about a new phone because there is a new iPhone application, and you've still got time to do this, in fact, to download it from the Apple Store. It's the Credit Union Christmas Pageant Apple iPhone application, which has the actual route there, bit of history, and you can even, get this, send a text to Father Christmas via your application on the phone. How cool is that?
Oh, fantastic. I can't believe how tech-savvy Father Christmas is.
I know.
And we'll upload all the fantastic photos from today, and you can check out all your favourite floats as well. It's a great thing to do.
Now, I loved just a short time ago seeing the history of the Magic Cave. Now, something that is very, very special out there and available for you to have at your home, on your coffee table, is a legendary book called The Legendary Magic Cave and Christmas Pageant by Lee Leonard. Let's take a look. We're always excited in these last minutes while we're waiting for Father Christmas. But it's worth remembering that preparations for the big day have been going on all year. Down at Stardust Castle, which is the year-round home of the Credit Union Christmas Pageant, there's always work to do on the floats. They've been building new floats, painting up the older ones, testing out the motors, and working on the costumes. Then, early this morning, the floats were all driven into town and lined up on South Terrace. All of the participants have been getting ready as well, putting on their costumes and makeup, and even grabbing a bite to eat at breakfast. It's been part of our Christmas celebrations in Adelaide since the very first pageant in 1933. When you look at some of the home movies of the pageant over the years, it's a reminder of just how much we love this day. And a wonderful record has been written with all the history of the pageant by Lee Lennon.
Nowhere else in the world have we got a story like this to tell. And I wanted my children to know the story and to know about all the people who created these stories for them. And this wonderful event that comes once a year to South Australia. Tradition we all need in our lives. It structures our lives and it teaches us important messages to hand on from one generation to another. And without tradition, we haven't got a direction in our lives. And the Christmas pageant is a wonderful contributor of tradition in people's lives. People had gathered little treasures that they shared with me, and they are mostly in the book. There are so many historical photos that belong in a book, but a book it's already 2.1 kilograms, so I had to stop somewhere. But hopefully all the photos reflect the long history that this event has given South Australia.
It's a beautiful book to put on the coffee table. I bring it out on many occasions to look up facts and figures that she's found along the way from all of those people who did it years ago and, you know, and before they passed on sort of thing. So there's a treasure of information in there. It's beautifully presented and beautifully written.
Well done, Lee. A beautiful book indeed. Glad to have it at home. And it's available at all good bookstores and newsagents and drag supermarkets. And guess what I can see?
I think we're about to start. This is exciting.
It's not far. It started on South Terrace with a countdown and a blow of Sir Edward's whistle, the mastermind of the pageant who first created the tradition in 1933. From there, winds almost 3.5 kilometres across the city to the landing stage at David Jones, where Lisa will be to meet Father Christmas in his new home. So, of course, lots of pictures there of Father Christmas in that beautiful book, The Legendary Magic Cave and Christmas Pageant. Lee Lennon, a wonderful lady. And if you want to look into it some more, there's a website there, christmashistorybook.com. And, of course, the Magic Cave, lots of photos in there. You'll be able to go there right up until Christmas Eve and see Father Christmas yourself. He might even let you ride Nipper and Nimble.
And I think we should throw down to Lisa McCaskill because the energy is building. It's very exciting down there, Lisa.
The crowd is really building. Everybody's back behind the blue honour line now, patiently waiting. I can see it coming up the street here, so it's getting very exciting. I'm heading off to meet Father Christmas down at the landing stage, so I'll see you in a little while.
And then again on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day as well, and then around the nation on the 12th of December. And I reckon I could hear some sirens in the background.
I can look at everybody in the crowd. They have got their brollies, but I do think, Mr. Weatherman, that the weather may be easing.
I think you're right. Everyone's doing the right thing and staying behind the blue honour line, which is a big tradition. It first started with the pageant here in Adelaide in 1958, keeping us safe without the need for a fence.
Now, can you believe we've got 63 floats, including 6 new ones to look at today. 16 bands as well.
I'll point them out, and we can actually see them there. First of all, though, the blue light vehicle from the SA Police. Always the opener for the Credit Union Christmas pageant every year to make sure everyone is behind the blue honour line, followed by the SA Police mounted cadre, affectionately known as the Police Greys.
What an honour for these horses to start the pageant. They look happy as Larry.
The second most important role next to Father Christmas, and that is setting the pace of the pageant. Now, a big weekend for the horses here in Adelaide because we've got the Australian International 3-day event.
Certainly is. Oh, and look what we have. Our first big float, which is a new one, trumpeting in 2010.
This is the one I was talking about earlier on, starring Satchmo the elephant, trumpeting in the pageant in true style and holding up that brilliant LED banner for 2010, created by Stephen Lane and Corey Hawkless. Have a look at that. Isn't that beautiful lit up there? Now, if you have a close look behind Satchmo, you'll see there's a very, very special clown helping to hold him up, hold the sign up. And Sir Kids there as well. Lots of funky clowns from Sir Kids joining Satchmo. See the clown holding Satchmo up? Big job.
Oh, look at that.
That is a big job. Now, of course, Satchmo's not the only famous elephant in the pageant.
No, he's certainly not. Oh, there he is, that big clown trying to hold him up. Now, Satchmo actually wanted to lead Father Christmas's sleigh, but Father Christmas said, I've got a better idea. Why don't you lead the pageant? And Satchmo, you are doing a fabulous job, my friend.
Whole lot safer than guiding Santa's sleigh for a big elephant like Satchmo. And behind, the band of the South Australian Police, joined by the Black Diamond Dancers, led by drum major Sergeant Adam Bucket.
Now, they were formed in 1984. Let's take a listen.
And they performed earlier this year at the Military Tattoo in Switzerland under the direction of David Pillane, who also conducts the annual Melody Night at Tanunda.
And this is a tradition that they lead the pageant every year.
They've got another big job before Christmas, their Christmas concert, which sells out every year. Book your tickets on Bass. The Black Diamond Dancers too. A big role here within the Credit Union Christmas pageant.
Aren't their uniforms just beautiful? I think I need one of those hats to keep my head warm.
I think you're right. They haven't tired at all over the 3.5 kilometres. Oh, it's a World Cup soccer clown.
And all these clowns go to clown school. I want to go to clown school after seeing how much fun they're having.
And swinging on a star. Now, the Credit Union Christmas pageant is all about participation, colour and movement. And there's our spruiker, heralding Christmas. Celebrating the birth of Jesus, of course, when that bright star, the Star of Bethlehem. So a lot of stars are synonymous with Christmas, and there's plenty of stars there.
Star of Bethlehem, of course, led the shepherds and the 3 wise men in the nativity scene, which I think I can see sneaking up behind, swinging on a star.
Not far. You couldn't miss that star, could you?
No, isn't that bright and colourful? What fun they're having.
And look at the beach balls going everywhere as well. Nice summer theme.
Sure is. When is summer coming, Rags?
Not I know, it's a little bit cold, isn't it? Not far, though, not far. There are 235 clowns in the pageant, including these guys. Lots of bigger ones than these guys too. Some world-famous clowns joining us here.
They are my favourite. I love the clowns. Oh, and here we have the nativity scene.
The reason for the season and a wonderful representation of the birth of our Lord Jesus, accompanied by the stirring sounds. You can hear them there, the Alleluia chorus.
Complete with angels, shepherds, and the 3 wise men.
They are wise too. Actually, you know what? I used to be in the nativity play at church. They never asked me to be an angel. They always got me to play one of the animals.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
The donkey?
Well, funny you should say that.
Can you do a good donkey sound? I bet you can.
Look at the sheep there. Sheep graze his advice, so I'm glad that they could actually make it this weekend. The Bureau issued that earlier. And everything but a silent night here in the city for baby Jesus. All the noise and spectacle of the pageant here in Adelaide.
It is a beautiful, beautiful nativity scene.
And I reckon that's about the 72nd rendition of the Alleluia chorus going through here on North Terrace now. Beautiful lit up there. Representation of the night. Look at the little pigeon up the top there.
Hope he keeps the roof clean.
Now, new in 2010, Christmas around the world. Now, this new float is my new favourite. It's created by Kari Lindsay. Look at this, a little baby tiger. And in fact, if you look closely enough, there are baby animals right across this. It celebrates the diversity in our South Australian community.
It certainly does. Now, the float is a celebration of more than 100 nationalities in South Australia and is represented through baby animals from all continents in the world.
Now, the drums you're hearing, that's provided from the La Réunion Sacred Drummers, and they're here on cultural exchange from the French island of La Réunion.
Well, welcome to Adelaide. They are doing a fantastic job. I love their uniforms.
Sensational. 100 nationalities on this float and throughout South Australia represented here, walking in the pageant.
He's got the moves.
That's right. After all, Christmas is celebrated around the world. You know my favourite Christmas? The Hawaiian Christmas. Melikaliki is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. Do you remember that one?
I think
Bing Crosby.
Yes.
He sung that one. Bing Crosby, yeah?
I can imagine you in a Hawaiian skirt on Christmas Day.
Look at those drums, though.
What a fabulous, bright and colourful float.
Now you can see some more of those baby animals here. See the baby seal? There's a little baby fox there.
Oh, she's got a big fish.
Well done. Baby seal and the baby penguin.
And here we have the pageant royal family. This is a pageant tradition since 1940. The tradition now includes the pageant king, with his princesses joining the pageant. And this year's pageant queen is Caitlin Short and pageant king Luke Carlino, joined by the prince and princesses from each of the credit unions.
And they have a special role too, because after today's pageant, the royal family are going to be making a very special visit to the kids at the Women's and Children's Hospital. So that'll be a lovely surprise, won't it?
It's a lovely lovely thing for them to do. And if you kids at the hospital are watching us this morning, a big pageant hello to you. I hope you have a wonderful day.
And our King and Queen, together with the Prince and Princesses, are representation of our sponsoring credit unions. All 5 of them represented up there. Wonderful to have them involved with us again in 2010.
Here's those naughty clowns again.
Not far behind, the Tea Tree Gully Redbacks, joined by the Calisthenics Association. Conducted by musical director David Gardner.
And they're one of 5 bands in the Banksia Park Concert Bands program, joined by members of the Calisthenics Association. They have a long association with the pageant, and they're directed by Glennis Anderson, and don't they look beautiful?
Absolutely superb. Long time dancing too from South Terrace. Now you remember at the start we had Satchmo the elephant.
Yes.
I said there was someone else, another elephant that's celebrating a very special time this year in 2010, and I can see it coming not too far away. We'll see her shortly, but it's a very special year for her because she's been in every pageant, would you believe, since 1950, and that is Nellie. Here she is celebrating 60th birthday.
Nellie is one of my favourites. She has been an all-time favourite since I think I started coming to the pageant when I was 3 years old. She was built by Frank Stewart from England for the John Martin's Christmas pageant in 1950.
She once gave rides to kids at a famous English beachside resort before making a new home here at Adelaide, and we are so glad that she's here. She had to cope with the heat last year. Introducing Bollywood. Thanks, Nellie.
Yes, thanks, Nellie.
Now, of course, we have a Christmas wedding here for the bride and the groom in front of the Taj Mahal. Very elegant dancers too, and beautifully dressed. Bollywood's a big film industry, isn't it?
It certainly is, and we've had a lot of Bollywood films made here in South Australia, so this is a wonderful partnership to see them here today. The music is amazing. I love listening to a bit of Bollywood. And the bride and groom we have on top, they're doing a dance in front of the Taj Mahal.
That must be one of Nellie's cousins there, the little elephant dancing alongside. War drums. G'day, mate. Merry Christmas. Oh, look, here's Alfie, the long hot dog, panting his way through the pageant. After all, Christmas is all about the pets as well. And guess what, Jade? You know what? We've got a very special Christmas this year because we have just got a puppy at home. It's her first Christmas with us, a black Labrador we're calling Ruby Ragless.
That's very cute, but not as cute as Wang Wang and Fooney. I'm sorry, Rags. I love these guys.
You're right. Oh, to have a panda as a pet. Now, the credit unions welcome our newest residents here at the zoo, Wang Wang and Fooney. Fooney's favourite ice cream is boysenberry. Actually, you can see it enjoying that, and you can see also, too, Wang Wang's the daredevil surfer riding that wave with the kangaroo lifesaver behind. There's the ice cream. He's trying to take it off Sammy the koala. Go easy.
I don't know if that's in a panda diet, is it? Tell you what, hasn't taken Wang Wang very long to pick up on some Aussie icon fun things to do, is it?
Have you been to the zoo and been with him yet?
I have, and I love them, but I love this guy just as much. Bruto!
Now, Bruto has a staple diet of bananas covered in strawberry syrup and then dusted in whiz fizz.
I'd love that for breakfast.
And he eats twice his body weight in a single day. Can you believe it?
Now, Bruto is a monster, but he looks pretty cute to me. He looks friendly.
I reckon those kids have the best seat in the pageant. What do you reckon?
How comfy. And here we have the London Bus, joined by the Australian Classical Youth Ballet.
And themed to Mary Poppins. You can hear some of the music there in the background. Now, this original 1946 London Bus filled with credit union competition winners. Have a look at him, the chimney sweeper.
Yes, we have a conductor, Cockney characters. Now, this bus, Raggy, was brought to the pageant in 1973. Isn't it beautiful?
Give them a wave, boys and girls. Of course, Mary Poppins is being staged here in Australia at the moment.
Certainly,
Over in Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then Sydney next year as well.
Now, hi to all the expatriates currently in London and to all the British tourists who are here in South Australia at the pageant today. Now, this is the Southern District's Pipes and Drums. Founded in 1996. Let's take a listen. the pipe major is Chris Forbes, drum major is Greg Tansel, and their colours are Cameron Red. They look wonderful.
I'd love to be able to play the drums like that. They look very smart, don't they?
They look absolutely fabulous.
Well suited to following the London bus. And have a look at Kingsley's vintage cars and the Keystone Cops. Very cute, aren't they? Very small.
They are, and car enthusiasts will be licking their lips at these little mini cars. They're beautiful.
That's Luke Bray there in the green Ford. Daisy Stoker driving the Red Baker Electric. There's a little fire engine there as well, being driven by Charles Quigley Smith. I bet you're loving that one. I love that one. Isn't that cool? William Quigley Smith there is in the white, and the light blue Renault, Charlie Viles. Now, these cars were built by Kingsley Savage, and you might remember for many years he gave free rides in them for thousands of South Australian kids in Tusmore Park. Now, Kingsley passed away in September 2004, but fortunately, the vehicles were donated to the pageant by Kingsley's family. We're so grateful for that. You see the yellow rover in there as well, Matthew Bray.
Oh, Raggy, here we have Pogo.
Pogo Armstrong, we'll call him. Cyclist to the Tour Down Under, shall we say. Now, his bike's a little bit different to Lance's.
I don't think he can go as fast as Lance, but he's giving it a red-hot go.
Pogo's become an iconic face of the pageant over the years, and his hair as well. I reckon that's his real hair.
Yeah, I think so. Born with green hair, why not?
He's had a bit of influence there and all these other clown mates around him.
He's looking a bit puffed out already. Keep going, Pogo.
Huge red nose. Massive red nose.
And here we have Once Upon a Storybook.
And what fairy tales and nursery rhymes can you see?
Oh, I think I can see Little Red Riding Hood.
There's Humpty Dumpty.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Hickory
look
Dickory
at the
Dock.
little mice.
All the little mice running around. The gingerbread man as well. Like it's going
Jack
up and
and
down.
the Beanstalk with the giant looming over the float.
Yeah, Little Miss Muffet is there. Little Red Riding Hood. Hickory Dickory Dock. And there's the little monkey too, chasing the weasel and the fox. And the gingerbread man too.
My favourite is Little Miss Muffet.
He's clever.
He is clever, isn't he? What are you going to do for us? Oh, he
Very
kicked the
tricky
ball. There are so many clowns in the pageant, and where would we be without them?
235 clowns. Can you believe it?
Helping the Austin 7 clown capers, and I reckon any more balloons, and that car is going to take off.
Now, these guys are led by Sir Kids, founded in 1986 by Tony Hammond. They're for disadvantaged young people in South Australia.
And look at that, it's Mem Fox, author of the world-famous Possum Magic. It is a real thrill to have her in here, and I'm very excited to say that she has had a lot of influence in a very exciting new float, which we'll see shortly. But Mem Fox, there is the passenger of the Austin 7 clown capers, and I reckon she's having the time of her life. And of course, creator of world-famous Possum Magic, celebrating the classic best-selling childhood story. And I remember this so well, represented by the much-loved characters Hush and Grandma Poss.
And Possum Magic was Mem's first book and has gone on to become the most recognised, best-selling and most loved picture book in the country. And it's easy to see why. Look at those cute and cuddly characters.
Oh, look at the Lamingtons too. Isn't that beautiful?
This float is one that truly captivates this year's theme. Together we can make magic.
And you can hear some music there, sung by the pageant director's daughter, Bridget Gilbertson. Yeah, I think the kids are enjoying that. Great crowds here today, a crowd of around 300,000 people lining the streets of Adelaide. And so far, the rain has held off, and I reckon our luck's going to stay that way as well.
And here we have Birth of the Butterfly.
Joined by the theatre bugs. Now, the birth of the butterfly is a bit like the old story of the ugly duckling. So each year, these little grubs wait their turn to grow up and to become a beautiful butterfly, like the magnificent butterflies you can see not far behind.
I know they're called grubs, but I just think they're super cute. I wouldn't mind being a grub.
Now, the theatre bugs, Every Child's a Star, a talent school directed by Jodie Coombe, daughter of internationally famous Peter Coombe, to then one day become the beautiful butterflies we see before us now.
And they do look just beautiful, fluttering their way through the pageant.
Of course, this time of year, a lot of the butterflies come out, enjoy our fine weather here in Adelaide.
Oh, the kids are loving those clowns, aren't
And they
they?
never get sick of waving either. And the Unleague Concert Band, joined by the Strictly Talented Dancers.
Here they are. Members range from 14 years of age to the eldest, 81. But she no longer marches.
Now, Unleague have been the state champion concert band on several occasions now. And the Strictly Talented Dancers have joined us for many years here at the pageant. Nothing like a bit of Michael Jackson in the pageant, the Unleague Concert Band and the Strictly Talented Dancers. Well done, ladies. Look wonderful there. Very well kitted out for Christmas, which is just 42 sleeps away. The Magic Cave's going to be open that whole time.
And here we have the Monster family.
Yep, Zorg is here. He's the dad, and his family have travelled a long way to be here for the pageant. And you know what? No sooner do they get back to their home planet, they need to turn around and make their way back here for the next one.
Oh, no, they're slow travellers. We have Ugg, Zorg, Zilma, and Zooey, the baby who was born just last year.
There she is.
Poking her head out of her pram. How cute.
Now, Zilma with the 3 eyes there, you know what she was famous for?
What's that?
The Miss Universe contest. She won back 12 years ago.
She's got good legs on her, doesn't she?
Still living in her glory days here in the pageant. And I reckon that could be Baxter. Oh, look, new this year. This is Mother Goose's Christmas table. Now, Mother Goose has put on a brilliant Christmas spread symbolising the tradition of getting together with family and friends. Look at the candles there. Burning brightly, created by artist Kit Chambers, and celebrating this year's theme, Together We Can Make Magic.
And look at Mother Goose. She's dressed in her finest Christmas apron, sitting there in her chair, rocking away.
I'll give you some Christmas magic. You see that chocolate pudding? I'm going to make that disappear.
Oh, I think you could. In record time as well. And here we have the patchwork Christmas cats. Mischievous cats and kittens in their colourful Christmas coats, aren't they?
And they're the friendly felines from the Calisthenics Association, using movement and dance, focusing on flexibility, strength and poise. We want to thank to our 5 credit unions who have come together to help make the magic happen this year. Savings and Loans, Australian Central, Community CPS Australia, Credit Union SA and the Police Credit Union.
And they are celebrating Christmas with Puss in Boots.
Could this be Santa Paws?
Oh, no, he's Puss in Boots.
Oh, look, there's the Lord Mayor. Might be his last day today, I reckon. I think they're talking about that today, deciding on a Lord Mayor.
Well, if it is, what a way to go out, sitting on the float with Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots is huge. And if you think he's big, have a look at his litter tray. Massive. Featuring Tom Jones, What's New, Pussycat. He's moved into a lifestyle luxury there, the royal household. And number 13, Ghastly Grove. What's this? What's this?
This is scary. Look at these guys. Spooky, spooky, spooky.
Is this the Nightmare Before Christmas? 13 Ghastly Grove from Halloween Town.
And they are responsible for bringing this bad weather, do you think?
Big grove tree, you can see it there reaching out like a spider over the house. Oh, listen to the thunder. Oh, I think this might be a bit more fun if they're playing ABBA.
They don't look that ghastly, do they? I think they're friendly ghastly groves.
And the Adelaide Irish Pipe Band. Now, something very special is Pipe Major Sammy Somerset, 73 years young today, and this is his 30th pageant straight. Way to go. Good on you, Sammy. Wonderful you can be with us.
Adelaide Irish Pipe Band was first formed in 1941 and they're now the only Irish pipe band in SA.
Ah, Cloudy Clary. I love this guy. His top hat and contagious smile, rolling on his hands and knees along the almost 3.5 kilometre route through the streets of Adelaide, wearing his big top hat. And look at his shoes, size 98 shoes. Can you believe that?
And he stands or lies down at 2.5 metres in length. I reckon that's just a little bit shy of you.
On Galaxy 2000, these aliens and young space cadets proudly marching together today before they're rocketed into outer space on a mission to spread the Christmas message to other universes.
Where do you think these guys came from?
Well, I know where they're going. First stop is the moon, where they're going to be putting the lunar Christmas tree up. May the pudding sauce be with you.
Now, Adelaide gets all sorts of tourists here, but I think this may be our most way out and craziest. But you're very welcome to be here.
These guys have been taught how to say Happy Christmas in more than 300 alien languages. And look at this guy. He's playing guitar with his fishing rod. That's no good. They've obviously gone out fishing for the day, but it doesn't look like they've caught much. A lot of these clowns from the credit unions that are sponsoring the pageant now for 15 years. It's wonderful. We really appreciate their support. Very happy clowns too. Oh, he's doing it in slow motion.
And they certainly put a smile on all the kids' faces, don't they?
I'd love to be riding Galaxy 2000. Oh, to be up there in that rocket ship,
I love that float.
blasted into outer space. And look at those aliens too. Oh, it's Nasty Devil, the Pirate King.
Are we stopping here?
Nasty Devil and his boatload of buccaneers have stolen the hearts of the crowd for more than 10 years now. Now, if you look closely, among the pirates this year is the Governor of South Australia, Rear Admiral Kevin Scarce. That's not him. I'm not talking about him. Look around closely. Look at all the treasure there.
I wonder if Nasty Neville can give me some of his loot so I can buy lots of Christmas presents this year.
Now, the Adelaide Convention Centre has a big pirate-themed New Year's Eve party. That'll be a big event for Adelaide this year. And, of course, hauling the treasure to the Magic Cave, where you can pick up a lucky dip, ride the carousel, have your photo with Father Christmas, and see Nipper and Nimble.
And don't forget to tell Santa what you want for Christmas. It's only 42 sleeps away. Not that I'm counting.
Pirate's life for me.
You want to be on that float, don't you?
That's
Doing
the
the
theme.
jig.
I do. I'd say this is one of my favourites. Pirates of the Caribbean theme.
Oh, yo, oh, a pirate's life for me.
And here we have Hocus, the wonky wizard.
Yeah, Wonky all right. None of his magic's gone right so far. Bit of a scary dragon, though. He's having too much fun, his old Wonky wizard. He's got 6 arms. Look at that.
That's not right, Wonky. What sort of spell have you cast there?
And the castle prison. Hopefully you don't have to stay there for too long. Being protected by the ugly ghouls with green noses and ears and arms that are way too long.
Oh, watch out, kids in the front row. Wonky might cast a very wonky spell on you.
McDougal the detective. Theme to the music of the Pink Panther. Now, more than 300,000 people are here for the pageant, and McDougal is the head of our pageant security. Looking at the blue honour line, making sure everyone's behind. I reckon that's the cat burglar behind him, the rat to pounce out of that garbage bin. The cat's not doing much. I reckon the cat's scared of the mice even. He's a pretty scary looking cat though. I don't think even McDougal knows the cat's even there. The mice are having a bit of a field day. Must be field mice.
And here we have the Enfield Brass Band. The band is the current state C-grade champion for the 2nd year running, and the state marching band champion 3rd year running. Let's take a listen.
They have a long history with the pageant, followed by the Cheryl Bradley dancers celebrating 20 years with the pageant this year. Now, Cheryl's grandmother was a harlequin clown in 1933 and in 1934.
And Cheryl has continued the tradition and her dancers will celebrate 20 years with the pageant this year. Happy anniversary.
They look fantastic. That's how I greet every Christmas morning. I say, Merry Christmas, everyone. I walk out of my bedroom and we're all there as a family in the lounge room. I'm dressed like that. Yeah, I'm dressed a bit like that. Maybe not quite like that. But I come out and I say, Merry Christmas. Oh, cool. Look at the little fire car.
Merry Christmas. Learner coming through. Merry Christmas.
That's my little siren. You like that?
Yeah, I do. You're the high tower of Adelaide.
I just like that little fire truck.
Oh, Alice in Wonderland.
Very special time for everyone on board the Alice in Wonderland float because everyone, including Tweedledee and Tweedledum, are celebrating a very happy unbirthday.
And a very happy unbirthday to you too.
Thank you, Jane.
Aren't they having a great time?
The Mad Hatter, the Queen and King of Hearts.
And I can't believe it, the March Hare was on time. Remember in the movie he runs around saying, I'm late for a very important date. Well, he's there.
Now, isn't that a perfect picture of what the pageant is all about? Coming together and celebrating Christmas. And look how many arms he's waving there. And Cinderella wants the ball to last forever.
I want this pageant to last forever.
Don't they look beautiful? Now, you might remember too, in the original Cinderella, bluebirds became the coachmen and the lizards turned into horses. In later versions, the mice became the horses. Now, our designer, Jill Halliday, has borrowed from both of those stories. And if you look closely, that's actually looking like a pumpkin there, which forms a slipper. And the clock behind is always ticking 1 minute to midnight.
You can probably see the ugly sisters and their mums are wearing masks. Good. Hide their ugly faces.
The ugly sisters. Yeah, that is a classic story of all time, isn't it? Oh, the candy carnival. I love the candy carnival. Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without candy. Now, you've got to be careful not to eat candy and ride on a carousel at the same time. These guys have been very good, very patient here. Because if you ride the carousel at the same time, it could have some consequences. They're huge lollies. They're massive.
Do you eat a lot of lollies at Christmas time?
What do you think?
Yeah, so do I.
In fact, if you were to give me that candy carousel now, I can guarantee it wouldn't last till Christmas.
Looks pretty yummy, doesn't it?
Might last today, maybe tomorrow, but that's all.
You'd have an awful tummy ache.
I remember, of course, the candy stockings you'd pick up. You'd pick up the candy stockings from all the Christmas pageants at the stores around the state. There's Rapunzel, featuring a favourite from the movie, Grease. She looks like an airline hostess, doesn't she?
She does. A very sexy airline hostess. Now, Rapunzel has to let her hair down so that the prince can climb up to rescue her, but... Oh, and there's the prince there.
That would be no easy task. Now, see how much hair she's got there. She goes through a bottle of shampoo and conditioner every day.
Wow. And look at that prince. He looks so charming. He can't get up because his foot's stuck on some bubble gum.
Is that a crow? What is that? No, that's a vulture. A very ugly looking vulture.
They're having a good time dancing to Grease anyway, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't think he'll be getting much food. Look at these clowns. Now, the kids, they love the clowns here. They're so involved. 235 clowns in the pageant, and I tell you what, there's some more special ones to come as well. A very special clown to lead in to Father Christmas, who can't be far away now. And here's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a classic float. And the witch. A very happy witch, I might admit.
Oh, and there's that apple. Don't eat the apple, Snow White. Someone needs to warn her. And look at those dwarfs. They are super cute. There's Sleepy, Doc, Grumpy, Sneezy, Happy and Bashful.
I love that. Hi-ho. Hi-ho.
Oh, Snow White's busy waving to everyone. I hope she's too busy so that she doesn't eat that apple.
Hi-ho, it's off to the Magic Cave. Open right through till Christmas. You can see Father Christmas there. And surely you can't be far away. the 1027th Battalion, the Royal South Australian Regiment of the Army Reserves. Now, this band have had the honour of performing at the Queen's Golden Jubilee Edinburgh Tattoo in Scotland, and they're here with us today.
And the band is always on the lookout for new recruits, so if you like what you're hearing, give them a buzz.
Very well dressed as well, aren't they? Perform regularly in defence and public parades and ceremonial occasions throughout the state.
And here we have the parade of flags. Shaking their booties are the cheerleaders from the Adelaide 36ers and Lightning dance teams. And what a great job they're doing.
They certainly are. Now, the Credit Union Christmas Pageant is owned and managed by the South Australian Tourism Commission, and closely behind there you can see the parade of the flags. All the bright and colourful parade of flags celebrating the 15-year partnership of our sponsorship credit unions, including Savings and Loans, Australian Central, Community CPS Australia, Credit Union SA, and the Police Credit Union. We thank you guys for your sponsorship now for 15 years. It's wonderful to have them here. And without them, there would simply be no pageant.
Mr. Owley, school.
And school's nearly over, Jade. How good's that?
Nearly Christmas holidays.
Can't wait. Now, these graduates have done their homework, so they've done pretty well there. Or have they? Have a look at some of the 7 minus 4 equals 3, yeah, 6 minus 2, 4 plus 15, 18, 6 plus 17. Oh, yeah, they're doing well. They're doing very well.
I wonder if any of these students know Harry Potter or went to Hogwarts.
Hang on, that's wrong.
Oh, hang on.
1 plus 2 doesn't equal 12.
Even I know that.
No wonder she's at the back of the float. Who's thinking about school now anyway? We're thinking about Christmas. Hello there, graduate. The graduate of Christmas.
Oh,
This is pretty loud. The Christmas wrapping by MC Shep.
here's some cool dudes. They were first introduced in 2006.
Now there's MC Shep on the microphone with the skaters and the breakers from the clinic. How cool is that?
Now, the Australian Central Credit Union people around the float didn't go for movement rehearsals. They attended attitude classes.
Here's Rodney the biplane and the magnificent men in their flying machines. Now, you might remember, actually you probably don't, but a lot of people would remember when a red biplane flew over the first pageant in 1933 to announce the coming of the parade. So Rodney was designed by the students from Owen Primary School.
And here we have Toby the toy truck, a big favourite since 1998. And look at those two blokes. They've got the best seat in the house.
And they don't even look like they're driving. Toby's doing all the work for them.
No hands.
Now, there are about 80 drivers in the pageant. Many of the vehicles, as I mentioned before, old baggage cars that used to pull around the luggage at the airports and the railway stations. Look at all the toys in the background there. Introducing the Hahndorf Town Band.
This band started in 1926 and they are fabulous.
Yes, they're a big part of the Hahndorf Music Fest each year, under the music direction of Philip Payne, who's the principal horn player for the ASO. There you have it, right there, in your face. Merry Christmas. And the Cheryl Bradley's dances, of course, again. Cheryl's grandmother was in the first pageant, and every generation since has been in it. So a real tribute to Cheryl Bradley and her dances all these many years. And once again, we say Merry Christmas.
They look so good.
They do.
I think you need to get some Christmas boxer shorts made out of those sparkly dresses.
What do you mean, get some?
Oh, you do, in all the colours?
Maybe I do. Maybe I already have some.
Wow.
The Ghana Yata Yityako Wanindo, which means a Ghana country Christmas. Now, the Ghana people are the traditional owners of the Adelaide Plains, and the descendants of the Ghana people are here to accompany one of the main animals of the region, the kangaroo.
Now, the concept behind this kangaroo design reflects an industrial lifestyle influenced by the natural environment.
The beautiful dot paintings there from Jill Halliday and Shireen Rankin. Ghana Yata Yityako Wanindo, a very special feature of the annual Credit Union Christmas Pageant. Kangaroo setting a hopping pace for us.
And isn't everyone loving it?
The Bandicoot Ball Rock Music Festival is a hit every time.
Tell you what, these guys know how to throw a bit of a party. I want to jump on in.
Look how it's bouncing around.
It's rocking.
Booging away to the music from Aussie rocker Johnny O'Keefe. Yeah, clap your hands, boys and girls. Nothing like a good bush festival. I think those clowns are mucking around. Guys, you're going to hold up the pageant. Come on, keep moving. What do those clowns think they're doing? Here's Babe Botch, the Babe Botch Surf Club. Now, unlike other people in the world who dream of having a white Christmas, here in Australia, it's a different story. We love to soak up a hot summer holiday.
We love the sun, sea and surf, don't we?
Now, big year for next year here in Adelaide. July, we've got the Australian Inflatable Rescue Boat Championships. That's down at Glenelg, so a big surf festival here in Adelaide. We can't wait for that.
Check out that massive wave they're riding.
And is that a bit of salt and pepper squid I can see on the top of that boat? And Christmas cricket. It's not Christmas Day without a game of backyard cricket.
After a big lunch, head out into the backyard and work it all off.
Of course, very exciting with the Ashes next month at Adelaide Oval. With the new Western Grandstand open, that's great news.
We got a sneak peek yesterday and it looks absolutely fantastic. Now, the bowler here is Lizzie Gillespie.
Oh, you after Jason, yeah?
I think so. Batter is Boof the Wombat.
Oh, you after Darren Buff Lehman?
Yep. And behind the stumps is Ricky Ponding.
Very clever. Oh, look at the field mice watching the game.
They're pretty cute, aren't they?
They're having a ball. Keeping score, guys?
Takes about 2 hours to do everybody's makeup in a float, doesn't it?
A very long time. Look at the score there, 37 up against 67 there. 65, I reckon it was.
Yeah, back scrappers aren't winning.
Rodents only.
You've been training all the winter, and there's not a
Good
team
game
that's
of
fitter,
cricket, guys.
and that's the way it's
They're
gotta
big
be.
cricket bats too, and some presents there as well. So,
Down like a machine.
and here we have the staff from Channel 9 on the Octopus Garden. And the leafy sea dragon enjoying the waters off the South Australian coastline.
I reckon I can see a few of Nemo's family members there.
Yes, some of the Channel 9 staff are here on the Octopus's Garden. A few cousins that have swum in from Sydney Harbour.
I think they should take a visit to Glenelg or Henley or even Rogue while they're here.
I'd like to be. Everyone, let me think of Santa.
And here we have the Royal Catalodian Band, formed in 1894. They're the oldest pipe band in the Southern Hemisphere.
They're so good they've been invited to return to Edinburgh to perform in the 2011 Military Tattoo. It'll be their third time after playing there in 2001 and 2007.
And here we have Colour Me Swirlies. These swirlies were designed especially by April Hutchins, and participants holding the swirlies are from the gang show where young people learn skills through theatre.
Very colourful.
They are.
Looks like they're going fishing too. Fishing for colour, maybe.
What a magical day here today. Everyone's making magic together, aren't they?
And you know what? I'm just so thrilled that the rain has held off. And here we have Ye Old Pageant Tram. Tickets, please. Tickets, tickets, please. Next stop, the Magic Cave.
I think they've come from Glenelg. What do you think?
This tram is packed with people who won a competition to be in the pageant. So lucky for them. Sensational day out for the beach. And a sensational tram museum at St Kilda featuring Adelaide's first ever tram, which is now over 100 years old and looks pretty similar to this one. Beautiful wooden decor, the old Pageant tram, fast track to Christmas, which is now only 42 sleeps away. Now this is the Tutti Ensemble. Anything is possible, rather. Recognised for connecting people with a disability with theatre. And if you look at the bell ringers too, around the float, those very talented dancers joining with them are actually staff members from Savings and Loans. The Tutti Ensemble perform regularly throughout the year. And a very talented bunch. Great to have them in the pageant once again. Featuring the music there, the soundtrack, Anything is Possible.
It's a beautiful soundtrack, and though those dancers had to go to dance lessons, they look great.
Bells are synonymous with Christmas as well. Can't wait to put on a bell on the front door. Now this is new too. This is Christmas Jazz in the Park, featuring the Pageant Jazz Band, model on Adelaide's iconic rotunda in Elder Park. And there he is, now in his 47th year, our own Keith Conlon. He's loving it. Half playing the drums and half waving to the crowd. What do you do?
Hello, Keith.
Such a dilemma. And look at the picnic there. Beautiful fashion in front of the rotunda. And a new float there. Beautiful, isn't it? Representation of such a wonderful icon here in Adelaide, South Australia. Playing jazz under the rotunda. Of course, home to many festivals in Elder Park, one of which will be, of course, the Carols by Candlelight in a few weeks' time.
Now, Brenton, there's 63 floats in the pageant. Do you know that they use 1,200 litres of petrol? It's a lot, isn't it?
And paint as well, lots of paint for the young artists' Colour by World float, showcasing the work of internationally acclaimed artist and Adelaide boy, David Bromley.
He makes beautiful, beautiful art. And look at that naughty dog at the back. He spilled all the paint. Naughty puppy.
I like to make my own Christmas cards at Christmas time, you know. Make some paintings for Mum and Dad and Grandma and Grandpa. Grandma's watching today, tuning in. Hi, Grandma. Beth Witters joining us here for the pageant. Lots of grandparents come here and wait patiently. They reserve a spot around 5 o'clock in the morning for their grandkids. They get up nice and early and reserve their spot here along the 3.5 kilometre pageant route. And the Nutcracker here, featuring the worldly acclaimed conductor, Tinsel the Reindeer. Supported with a Christmas ballet with the Australian Classical Youth Ballet. And Tinsel, may I say, is doing a magnificent job. He's going to be at the Mitcham Carols by the Creek on the 5th of December. You can meet him in person, but have a look at him. Well occupied conducting the Nutcracker.
He's a cutie, and he's the only other reindeer with a red nose. And what a coincidence, because he and Rudolph are best buddies.
And the Nutcracker, of course, tells the story of Clara, given a nutcracker for Christmas from her uncle. And that night she dreams the Nutcracker comes to life and journeys to the land of sweets. I regularly share that same dream, can I say, Jane?
So
Dreaming of lollies.
Donuts and lollies.
The Christmas ballet there. And some more drums. You are going to love the Billy Hyde Raiders, the drum corps, formed in 1992, and the members range from 12 to 40 years. Have a listen to this. You're going to love it. These marching formations, as you can hear, based on American and British cultures, they sound brilliant. It's trained by Steve Todd, and Des Bluey Clark is their director. Have a listen to that beat.
They were formed in 1992, and members range from 12 to 40.
Makes you want to get up and march with them to the Magic Cave, doesn't
I
it?
do. They have got a beat.
And the mighty good production, MG Funk, dancing closely behind. And they've been going like that since South Terrace, where the pageant started at 9:30 this morning.
Whoop, whoop.
Did you know, by the time the pageant actually reaches here, it still hasn't left South Terrace. The actual pageant is longer than the route itself.
Rags, I'm so excited. It's Nipper.
Yes, here comes every little girl's favourite, Nipper. Special thanks to all the volunteers who have arranged the beautiful flowers. And sitting on top there is Tiffany. Her mum works at Australian Central. What a great job. And the flowers, the beautiful flowers, designed by Blair Ringwald from the Woodville Academy of Floral Design. And don't they look stunning?
And Tiffany's got her beautiful pageant wave down pat. She just looks gorgeous. What a big job that is.
Well done, Tiffany Hithazi from Australian Central there. Closely followed by the Young Adelaide Voices, directed by Deb Munro. Formerly the Adelaide Girls Choir.
Those voices are heavenly.
Been heard all around the world too, sung in some very famous concert halls and churches all around the world. And Nimble.
On top of Nimble is Charlotte Lightbody. She was chosen to ride Nimble because her dad works at Savings and Loans. What a great memory she'll have.
Now, of course, you can visit both Nipper and Nimble at the Magic Cave after the pageant. They've been a big part of the tradition every year in the pageant since 1933. It's wonderful that they're with us. And as I mentioned earlier, big weekend for horses here in Adelaide. The Australian International 3-day event on in the Eastern Parklands. And more bells with the ringing in of the spirit of Christmas, with the Calisthenics Association leading the way, choreographed by Glynis Anderson.
And did you know that the music being played is actually live recordings from some of our churches around Adelaide, St Francis Xavier, St Peter's Cathedrals and St Cuthbert's in Prospect and Walkerville Church. Let's have a little listen. Sound familiar?
I do.
You there every Sunday?
I reckon I recognise that from St Francis Xavier, either that or St Peter's Cathedral.
I thought it was Walkerville.
Maybe it could be St Cuthbert's in Prospect. Not sure. Anyway, the bells are there. And the bells of Christmas. With the Scotch College Tattoo Corps.
The Scotch College Band is South Australia's only school-based pipe band. They're wearing Seaforth Mackenzie tartan.
And that's all.
That's it, nothing underneath. So kids, don't look up from that blue on a line.
Mate, it's not a windy day. Now, last month, Scotch College won the State Pipe Band Championship, and understandably too, they sound brilliant.
Look at those clowns trying to have a go.
That's stretching things a bit too far now. This clown would make a perfect boom gate at a railway crossing, wouldn't he?
Yes.
He's the sort of guy that you want around when you drop $1 under the fridge and it rolls under there and you need someone to get it.
Or they'd be really good at arm wrestling.
More clowns. Look at that size of the lollipop that he's got. The Robot Family Christmas, celebrating future Christmases, maybe. What would a robot want for Christmas?
Well...
There you can see it, a real human girl. After all, it makes sense. If they're robots, maybe they want a real... Look, there she is, going into a Christmas box.
Oh, and here we have Boo-Hoo the Jester.
Now, Jade, you know who creates all those jokes inside the bonbon crackers?
Not you.
No, you're looking at him. This guy, Boo-Hoo the Jester. And he gave me a bonbon joke earlier.
Yeah?
What do monkeys sing at Christmas? Jungle bells.
Oh!
You can blame Boo-Hoo the Jester on that one.
I like that one. I'm going to take that to my family Christmas.
I know. Dad nearly fell off his chair. And what happens if you eat Christmas decorations? You get tinselitis.
Boom, boom, ching.
Actually, you can thank my grandpa for that one. And Flights of Fancy with Granny Flo. It's Granny Flo all dressed up in her beautiful pearls. Now, Granny Flo represents all the grandparents out here who make Christmas so special. And a big hello to all the grandparents here with us today. Been getting up early in the morning to reserve the spots for their kids, their grandkids. As I mentioned, Grandma, my own Grandma, Beth Witters, watching at home today. Wonderful you could tune in.
And it is a special time for all grandparents to continue Christmas tradition, tell stories, spoil the kiddies with presents, and make a big Christmas pudding. Here we have the Marion City Band.
Yep, they're celebrating their 40th birthday this year. They love Christmas, and this year they're going to be doing 6 Christmas pageants everywhere from Mount Gambier through to Port Moreton, plus a couple of carol nights as well. And no sitting, yeah, exactly right. We've got a pageant to run here, guys. Come on, Father Christmas is not far away. Keep on moving. Come on.
Yeah, holding everything up. Move it, move it.
Otherwise, you guys will find yourselves behind the blue honour line.
Oh, and here we have Christmas on Parade. I love these little fellas.
Another genuine London bus that was shipped to Adelaide especially for the pageant. Now, as we talked about earlier on, big time for London with the Olympic Games next year.
It most certainly is. And these kids on board this bus are lucky enough to have a ride of a lifetime. They won a competition run by the Credit Union.
Yes, the 2012 Olympic Games in London, not far away. Full of children who have won the ride of a lifetime. A competition run by the credit unions. Look at all the clowns here on the side of the bus.
What a beautiful looking bus. Hello, kids. Big wave.
I'm glad it's not raining. We've been so lucky with the weather today. Last year in the pageant, we had our first November heat wave on record. And then the opposite this year. Nice and cool, overcast conditions, but it hasn't rained. And it's brought out the crowd. Some 300,000 people lining the streets of Adelaide. Here's some exciting carols behind. The Christmas carol float.
And what would Christmas be without carols?
And of course these guys helped us with our world record attempt earlier on today. We'll still have to find out how we went with that.
What's your favourite Christmas carol?
Oh Holy Night would have to be a favourite of mine.
Yes?
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, but even though I know it's summer, but here we have a white Christmas.
Yes, we certainly do. Mine is Jingle Bell Rock.
I do have a favourite carol album at home, and that's the one with all the Disney characters on it.
Now, some of those beautiful voices are from the Australian Girls Choir. And did you know they've worked alongside Hugh Jackman, John Farnham and Olivia Newton-John, and have also sung for royalty? That's not a bad job.
Ah, Train! I knew it. I love trains, and here's one of them. I know there's another one still to come closer to Father Christmas, but this is Christmas in Toy Town. Look at the colour here.
Oh, no matter if you're 2 or 102, everyone loves a present.
Well, you know when the toy box says it's suitable for 3 and under? This is where those toys are made. Christmas in Toy Town. Now, if you haven't asked Father Christmas what you want for Christmas, you can do so from the Credit Union Christmas Pageant website, cupageant.com.au, or you can download the new Pageant application for iPhone. You can send a message that way.
Or you can visit the man himself on level 3 at the Magic Cave.
I tell you, what I want for Christmas is right there, that train with a smiley face on it. If Father Christmas can deliver that on Christmas Day, there won't need to be another Christmas, I can tell you.
You'd be a happy boy.
Would
you ride that to work?
For the rest of the life. Yeah, I'd take that to work.
And here we have Christmas with Rudolph.
That means Father Christmas can't be too far away. Now you can see here Rudolph has taken a bit of a summer holiday.
Oh, he is. He's looking at his vacation book. I wonder where he wants to go.
Takes a bit of a break before the Christmas rush.
Fair enough. He works pretty hard.
I guess you can fly anywhere you want when you're the head reindeer of Santa's sleigh.
Oh, I think that he should perhaps go to Kangaroo Island, Mount Gambier,
Yes, stay local.
Karakalinga.
Although he's got a big job ahead of him, isn't he? Rocking on his rocking chair here.
He's taking it easy there.
Here's some more drums behind too, not far away. The Pulteney Grammar School Drum Corps and Heathfield Renegades. Now, boy, do these guys have rhythm.
I love their uniforms.
See, he flicked his drumstick there. Very smart, very intelligent. That sounds sensational. And these guys are supporting a brand new float coming up behind them. You'll see very soon. The Pulteney Grammar School Drum Corps and Heathfield Renegades. They sound sensational.
I think their uniforms are actually piano keyboards.
And new this year, the Christmas beat.
This is my favourite. I like it.
And now this float really comes alive. If you look closely, some of the drums, they're beating by themselves. See behind? Look at that.
Christmas magic.
No one's there doing that. What a big job.
Now, there's some credit union SA staff doing the stick routines alongside the float. They actually went to drum classes to get ready for today, and they are doing a pretty damn good job. That has to be the brightest coloured clown I have ever seen with those big shoes and big hats. Look at that.
Look at
You could go surfing on those shoes.
And that is one giant organ. Cozzy the koala. He's endured a cold winter, hasn't he?
He certainly have.
He loves the snow. And he visits Father Christmas every year. Probably why it's so cold.
How strange, a koala. They're meant to love Aussie conditions, but he does love going to the North Pole. And when it comes time for Santa to pack his bags and come to Adelaide for the pageant, Cozzy comes too. What a great ride.
Koalas are such a beautiful part of our Australian wildlife. And Cozzy the koala, isn't he cute and cuddly? Cleveland Conservation Park.
That clown's just going to clean that little boy's head. Get the rain off them.
That's the way. That's the way.
Shine them up for Christmas. And all these clowns go to clown school. I love clown school.
Here's another one of my favourites, Grandpa's Christmas Workshop.
And elves and pixies and fairies and gnomes are busy in Grandpa's workshop. Look, he's having a little sleep in his rocking chair.
Did you see the train? Look at it. Here's a train coming out of the tunnel. I told you there's another train coming.
I'll bet there's plenty of grandpas who can share lots of pageant memories with their grandchildren out there today.
I've got a train just like that, which I put up underneath the tree, which we're going to be doing that today. You can see the train going around there.
I can see it.
And the dog too. A little Dalmatian there in the kennel. Yes, Grandpa's Christmas Workshop. I love it. Closely followed by the Christmas stocking.
Do you have a Christmas stocking come
Certainly
Christmas time?
Certainly do. Hang it up on the fireplace every year. Can't wait to see what Father Christmas puts inside.
I think this is the biggest stocking I've ever seen, though. I wouldn't mind that one in my
I'll tell
lounge
you what,
room.
that would be very nice. And you'd need that car to bring it home too. Stretched to 8 metres long, this car has. Biggest one-ton ute I've ever seen.
Sits on special suspension and tyres and has been fully spray painted by the boys at Stardust Castle Workshop.
Have a look at all the toys in the back of that stocking.
What do you think's in there? Trains, definitely, if it was yours.
And a fire engine.
Yes.
A little puppy dog. In fact, if I look closely enough, I can see a saxophone. I'll love that.
Robots.
There's a bike in there too.
I think I could see Cozzy the koala in there. And here we have the Christmas tree.
Yes, it's time to put the Christmas tree up. And this beautiful tree was designed by Case Van Driel in 2004. And there's Kim Cirrus, a Channel 9 program, Garden Gurus, driving the tow motor. Good on you, Kim.
Now, this float would not be possible without Forestry SA, Oasis, City of Charles Sturt and their many volunteers, and Woodville Academy of Floral Design and their helpers. That looks just stunning, guys. You can come round to my place and decorate my tree if you like.
Yeah, I reckon mine's not going to look as good as that. The 413 Army Cadet Unit and the SA Police Pipes and Drums. And the pipe major is Phil Wild, the leader of this magnificent Pipes and Drums unit. And their tartan reflects the state heritage, officially registered in Scotland as the South Australian tartan.
And they're known for their performances at the Edinburgh Military Tattoo and the inaugural Moscow Military Tattoo in Red Square. They're busy, aren't they? Oh, cupcake Christmas!
More food, more food. Now, cupcakes go hand in hand with Christmas. Actually, they go in both hands, don't they?
They certainly do. I'd have
Both
one in
are
both
mine.
hands. Now, this float won first place over 140 entrants in the first Credit Union Pageant School Design, a float competition in 2007, and you can see why. Yum!
Those cupcakes are going to be a special treat for Father Christmas's reindeers after Christmas Eve. All of them.
I think they'll gobble them up in no time.
Oh, Stardust Castle. It must mean Father Christmas is not far away. One of the all-time classics of the pageant. There's a star for everyone in the pageant.
Watch out, clown, you're going to get run over. Beep, beep. Look at all those stars. How many stars do you think there's on that float?
Well, I know for a fact there's one for every star of the pageant. Now, I'm referring, of course, to the volunteers here. 3,000 volunteers involved annually in bringing the pageant to our screens.
They do an amazing job. A big thank you to you guys.
Beautifully designed by Gary Lee Gaston. That would be nice to have at home, wouldn't it?
I'd love to live there. There's so much magic. Oh, Toyville trolley, another one for
train!
you.
Look how many presents there are on that train. You thought there were presents on the last one. That gnome's got it easy, signalling the yellow flag.
Wow, Father Christmas's helpers have been working hard, haven't they?
The yellow flag means the presents need to take caution. There's so many there. Which one's yours?
Oh, I've got mine right up the top. It's a pink one with lots of tinsel.
Mine's one of the ones at the bottom, because they put the bigger ones at the bottom, you see.
Oh, maybe I should swap.
These presents are going to the Magic Cave, where Father Christmas will be. Lots of presents there. You can tell him what you want. He'll be there all the 42 nights to come until Christmas Eve. Man, there are so many presents there. I can almost enough for the 300,000 crowd that are here today.
And here we have 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. But look, there is a mouse.
The beautiful choir. And I reckon they've sung so beautifully that it looks like our friendly mouse has dozed off to sleep. These clowns, though, creating a bit of havoc there. See, look at him, dozed off to sleep there. All asleep in his big boot. Merry Christmas, boys and girls. Merry Christmas.
It's great to see those boys singing along. They've got just lovely voices. Oh, and that mouse has got little cookies and milk. Yum.
While he's asleep, I can steal my cookie back, the one that he stole from the lunchbox. A little sneaky mouse.
And here we have Christmas swirlies.
Yes, in the Christmas colours too. The beautiful Christmas colours designed especially for the pageant.
I love their masks.
You can hear behind too another band complimenting our Christmas swirlies in their beautiful colours. They've been marching all the way from South Terrace, winding their way across the city through Victoria Square. Oh my goodness, here he is!
Oh, look!
First of all, though, the Australian Army Band here in Adelaide.
Formed in 1950. Brendan, I can't believe it. I can see him, I can see him.
Now, this band formed in 1950, introducing, look who it is,
Here
Father
he is.
Christmas himself, the man who calls the shots every year on December 24.
The boss. Oh, he's saying, blowing kisses. Hello, Santa.
And Father Christmas here means that the festive season has started in Adelaide, South Australia. And the kids are so excited. We are too. Here he is. And more toys. As if they weren't enough before, there are more toys here in Adelaide arriving with Father Christmas. All the kids, the mum and dads,
Hello,
give them a
Santa.
wave.
And
the
look
reindeers.
at all those reindeers. Dasher and Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet and Cupid, Donner and Blitzen. Guys, you've done a great job.
Hey, Father Christmas, over here, over here. Can he see us?
Look at the kids, they're so excited. What a busy day Santa has had. He's flown in from the North Pole, been to the pageant.
And joining him on the landing stage to make him home at the Magic Cave, here's Lisa McCaskill.
Now I'm more than excited, always excited about being on the landing stage here, and more so than ever because Adelaide, we have broken a Guinness World Record. And to announce it officially, we have Pam from Guinness.
On behalf of Guinness World Records, it's my pleasure to announce that you have broken the record for the largest group of carol singers with 9,116. Congratulations, Adelaide!
Isn't that fantastic? Woo!
Sensational. That is wonderful news. I knew we'd get a crowd here, and the fact that we had them all singing the carols means that Christmas is here in Adelaide, and to greet them, Father Christmas, who's travelled all the way from the North Pole, is going to be making his home at the Magic Cave any minute now. You'll be able to see him there every day leading up to Christmas, just 42 sleeps away now.
I know. I'm going to ask him for a sleep in, I think, and breakfast in bed.
And all the kids, the mums and dads, the grandparents, they're all so excited. And don't forget, you can slip Father Christmas a note via that new iPhone app for the Christmas pageant, and you can also send him a message online at the Christmas pageant website, pageant.com.au, and have a look at that. Isn't he excited to be here? All the boys and girls, the dads, the grandparents, they've been waiting a long time to see Father Christmas here in 2010, here on North Terrace. A beautiful sleigh and a beautiful float.
He just looks magic, doesn't he?
Doesn't he look magnificent? So happy to be here. And he's got that list. Quite a long list, actually.
Check it twice and find out, Brendan, if you've been naughty or nice. Have you?
I wonder if it's too late.
Well, you've got 42 days to pull up your socks and be a good boy.
You know, we've been so lucky today, so fortunate with the weather. It hasn't rained down. A little bit of drizzle at the start of the parade, but not for Father Christmas. It hasn't rained down on his parade.
Certainly not. And waving to 300,000 people here who have arrived to watch the Credit Union Christmas pageant. And it's been a fantastic day with amazing floats. 6 new ones. I loved all of them. What was your favourite?
Oh, look, I'd have to say Christmas Around the World, featuring all the wonderful cultures. And I like the way we started off too with Satchmo the elephant.
Yes, he was fun,
He was cute. The old favourite there, of course, you know, the trains. Big fan of the trains and the fire engines.
No, you're not, are you? Surely.
And Father Christmas, here he comes, joining the landing stage to be greeted by the royal family and the Queen of the pageant. Give him a wave. A fantastic celebration there. Of course, it's the role now, the royal family, to escort them up into the Magic Cave.
Certainly is. I think we should cross to Lisa McCaskill, who is right there with the man of the moment.
Yeah, hi everyone. The pageant queen is guiding Father Christmas down. We've got the bands playing, the choir singing. The Queen will bring Father Christmas down to meet the pageant king Luke in a minute. He's waiting here patiently.
Merry Christmas!
He looks as jolly and happy as ever.
Hello, Lisa. How do you do? Nice to meet you, King. Hello, Lisa.
Hello, Father Christmas. And welcome to Adelaide.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
I think we should give Father Christmas 3 cheers, everybody. Ready? Hip, hip. Hooray! Hip, hip. Hooray! Hip, hip. Hooray!
Oh, it's so lovely to be in Adelaide, South Australia again, Lisa. It's just beautiful. Every year is special. Every year is special. And it is only made special by all of you coming together and making magic. Make magic this year and love each other every day. And all, Merry Christmas!
Thank you very much, Father Christmas. We're so glad to have you here. It heralds the start of the festive season in Adelaide, South Australia. And special thanks to our sponsoring credit union, Savings and Loans, Australian Central, Community CPS, Credit Union SA and Police Credit Union. Merry Christmas, everyone.
This special television event was brought to you by Channel 9 Adelaide, your pageant station.